All right, so remember I said we had a short trade, potentially could go short. Right here we are short in the ER. 699.88 is our closing price on that trade. We have a first sell target at 697.5. I round my sells up, and our sell stop initially will be at 701.7. Okay, remember I told you guys 114 is greater than 85, and we already have permission to take a short trade. I'll also have to go over how we manage this. We're using our two-contract money management system, which essentially means we're using two contracts on every trade. The first contract will be closed off at the first profit target. Here in the ER, we're at 697.50. I round these up. I want to get to a place of protection. So at 697.50, we will close off our first contract, and we will then take the distance from 699.8 to 697.5, which is 1.3 points, and move it up. There's 697.50 right there. This is where I usually ring the cash register. Okay, we've closed off our first profit contract, or our first contract, the first profit target. Now we've moved our stop in to our entry point minus the distance to the first profit target. So in my head, 699.8 minus 697.5 is 1.3 points, and 1.3. Better not do that just in case I give you something wrong. Plus the 699 is 701.1. 701.1. It was at 701.7. We move our stop into 701.1. That's how you would use it. The remaining contract stays open until this dotted line. We start looking at the dotted line now until this dotted line is breached or broken by a price bar. Now the E-mini S&P is already short and has been short for quite a while. So did you guys see? Give me a Y to make sure I'm being heard here. Somebody type a Y if you understood what I said and you saw this happen, because you saw this all happen in real time. Okay, well, at least I know I'm QTrader. Thank you. I know you guys are hearing me. That's good. Now in the E-mini S&P trade that was already established here, you can see this white line broke the dotted line and it's already out of the market. But remember, we have 275 on the bullish side, not on the bearish, versus 205, and that tells us we have permission to take a long trade if we get a blue. All right, thank you, JC Bear. So we see a blue trender dot showed up, and that just says that this line has turned blue. If I get a blue paint bar, we're taking a long trade. We're going to go long, and it'll be at the closing price of that blue paint bar with this blue paint line. So that's where you would come in at the closing price. Questions often asked. There's the blue paint bar starting to show up. Questions often asked, do I come in at the market? Do I come in with a limit order? My response is that the market's moving fast. If you want to catch the trade, you better come in with a market order. It's been my experience that I always use market orders, but I can't give you trading advice. However, it's been about 70% of the time that I get the exact price I want. The other 30% of the time slips a tick or two. But I don't want to miss the trade. That's just my personal opinion. So you come in however you want to come into the market. All right, see that this blue bar seems to be staying pretty steady. If it closes right there, it is. There's our entry point, 1332. We're going long. We have a first buy target at 1332.75, and we have a buy stop at 1330.50. For those of you who may not be familiar with this market, it is in quarter point increments. The E-mini S&P 500 is in quarter point increments, and the E-mini Russell is in 1/10 of a point increments. Now looking at these numbers that are here, guys, you see the 376 on the bearish side is already greater than 226, so I have permission already to go short. So if this market doesn't make it up, I can take a short trade if I get a red trigger entry point. Okay, I can do the same thing down here. Well, I'm already short, but until something changes, I'm staying short till this line's broken here. Okay, so what's our first profit target, guys? 1332.75. What do we hit? 1332.75. What do? That's right, you got it. We closed up the first contract. So now we're long the ES, or long the E-mini S&P. Now, what we do, guys, is we start following the remaining open contract with this dotted line, okay? This dotted line here that's kind of small on your screen. But when it gets broken, then we'll close our remaining open position. Right now, we are long the E-mini S&P, and we're short the E-Russell, the ER. E-mini Russell. There is a blue dot on that trade. Okay, now we already know we have permission to take a short in the ES, the E-mini S&P, because on the bearish side, 376 is greater than 226. So red paint bar may be coming in. Once this dotted line is broken, we'll be out of this long trade. And if we get a red trender dot, that'll be our trigger bar to go short. Okay, there it is, guys, right there. You see the bars below the line. We'd come in at 1332. Our first sell target would be at 1331.50. That's our first sell target. Our stop initially is going to be put at 1333.25. Okay, so we're short the E-mini S&P right here. Oh, did I forget to put the bar? Well, we talked about it a million times here. There. We already talked about staying short. I was telling you guys all on here we're still short. So there's the visual indicator. On your red, remember I said 114 is greater than 85. We have permission to take a short. Okay, look up here at the E-mini S&P. What is our first sell target? 1331.50. Where are we at? We're 1329.25. What would you do? That's right. Sometimes the market moves fast. You have to be ready for it. Watching two markets, it makes it a little bit more challenge. But you can see we have permission to take a short. Now I can tell you already, 358 on the bullish side is greater than 275. If I get a blue, this rolls around and we get stopped out on a remaining open contract, we'll close out of that contract and we already have permission to take a long in the S&P. See if I can open this up for you guys a little bit. Okay, so we're still short both markets. Well, actually, we got just stopped out in the ER right here. See this dotted line? It did break or breach this dotted line. So you would close out your position as soon as you see that happen. What you do is you're just watching the market. Once you're short in a trade, you're watching until you see this line get broken. Then that's it. You just close out your remaining open contract. So let's look at our numbers, guys. In the ER, we're short in the ES. In the ER, we have a 91 on the bullish side, which is greater than 64. That already gives me permission if this market rolls up. It may not, but if it does, I can take a long trade if I get a blue. So you can see we entered here at 9:30 at the market open at a closing price of 699.80, and then we would close out. We took our first profit contract off at our first target, 697.5. The remaining contract stayed open until this bar right here, which closed out at 696. Okay, see how that works? Now we're no longer in a trade in the Russell down here. We have permission to take a long, but that's it. If the market keeps going down, we don't care. There's plenty more trades coming. Like I always say, if you miss the bus, there's another one coming. Let's take a look up here in the E-mini S&P. We're short the market from 1332 where we came in. Okay, we took our first sale target at 1331.50 and we closed one contract there. The remaining contract stays open until this dotted line is broken by a price bar, just like it was down here in the ER. Now this works in any market, guys, so no matter what market you're trading, you know, whether you're trading bonds or stocks or even Forex, you do the exact same thing. You just make a simple number comparison. You have the bullish numbers and the bearish numbers. These numbers are generated by our software that take into account price, the volume, and then there's a momentum algorithm that's factored in. And so we don't care if the number is just 2 digits or 10 digits. If it's bigger or smaller than the previous number, depending on which side of the price bar it's on, that tells us what we do next or what we have permission to do. stay in this remaining open contract until then.